Thank you so much for joining me today, Morvarid. It's great to meet you. I appreciate you agreeing to do this interview.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful to be here. My name is Morvarid Rahmani. I am at Georgia Tech Scheller College of Business, associate professor there. And it's always fantastic to be part of the Informs media activities. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And how long have you been an Informs member?
I became an Informs member in 2009 during the second year of my PhD program at UCLA. Back then, actually, Informs happened to be in San Diego. And all of us OM PhD students basically drove from LA to San Diego, and it was a blast.
Awesome, great. So when did you first discover ORMS and analytics, and then at what point along the way did you discover Informs, I guess, in your PhD program?
Yeah. So I got exposed to operations research and management science domain during my undergraduate study in industrial engineering. But it wasn't up until I started a PhD program that I learned about Informs as an organization and all the conferences and other activities that are happening within that.
Okay. So you have 3 master's degrees and a PhD. So tell us about your education journey and then how you ended up where you are.
Absolutely. That's a question I receive a lot, actually, because people always wonder like how I ended up with 3 different masters in 3 different areas of industrial engineering, electrical engineering, and economics. So my master's in industrial engineering, I got that before I even started the PhD program. So it was kind of a continuation of my undergraduate. But the other 2 master's degree, I got them during the PhD program.
Okay.
And the reason was that my research is quite interdisciplinary because I kind of blend concepts from operations management and economics to tackle questions in knowledge work, which engineering is part of that. So I found myself taking many classes during my PhD program, both at the electrical engineering department as well as economics. I took more than 120 credit hours, which is not common for a PhD student. But I enjoyed it. I really wanted to learn. And at some point, I realized that I'm eligible for a master's degree in electrical engineering as well as economics. But I had to do a thesis for the electrical engineering, and I had to pass comprehensive exams for the economics.
Okay.
So I was young and energetic, so I just decided to challenge myself and go for both.
So, but they weren't back to back to back to back, because you would have started your education when you were 10 years old. So what advice do you have for OR and MS students who are trying to decide on their own career path?
I think one big advantage of ORMS is that is a variety of topics and domain that scholars can work on. And my advice is that to just be mindful about all of these opportunities and make wise choices in terms of in what area or domain you want to specialize. It's totally okay to take your time and try to learn about different areas, different methodologies, and then pursue the one that you are the most passionate about or it inspires you the most.
Yeah, that's good advice. And your research focuses on innovation and social sustainability. You've been published widely and recognized with a handful of Best Paper Competition awards. So can you just tell us a bit more about your research focus and perhaps what you're currently working on?
Absolutely. I have done some projects related to innovation, especially like on project management, team management, collaboration. And also I have been involved on some projects related to social sustainability, working with nonprofit organizations who are helping mostly underserved individuals who are suffering from issues such as homelessness or domestic violence. Currently, I am involved in 2 streams of research. One is on entrepreneurship, and the other one is on employee evaluation, how organizations basically evaluate employees for better performance as well as better satisfaction on the employee side. And I should say that I'm so grateful for my PhD students, both the current PhD students and the former PhD students, because they are the ones who inspired me and pushed me to work on these areas with them. And I want to give all the credit to them for me to be able to work on these topics.
Thank you. You've also worked with Inform's Public Relations Manager. You've gotten your work into the mainstream media. So can you talk about this experience and then maybe share any advice with other Inform's members who would like to get their work seen?
I have had fantastic experiences working with Inform's media team, Ashley, as well as others. I mean, that you're doing amazing work and there are so many different activities that is happening at the media team. So I encourage everyone to get engaged with these activities. And my experience has been amazing because your team is not only very professional, but also very friendly. So it's always a pleasure
Thank
to
you.
interact with all of you.
Is that the first time that you've had some work in mainstream media, or working with us, or have you had?
I have had interviews, other media channels with ABC News and with Georgia Tech media team.
Oh, right, yes.
Yes, and with the work that we did for a nonprofit, we also were able to kind of write an article on Nonprofit Pro on that.
Okay. And how about other things about your Informs life? What's your favorite part about an annual meeting?
Oh, I like many parts of it. If I want to choose one part, I would say maybe business meetings, because I feel like I gain a lot of information by attending business meeting, learning about what different activities are happening, what journals are doing, how societies are doing, what are the new initiatives, the awards that are usually being given during business meetings. So I feel like there's tons of information that I get, but there are many other parts that I also enjoy. So.
Which community are you most active in?
I am very active in Times community, technology, innovation management, and entrepreneurship. So I serve on the board of Times for 5 years, actually. Last year I was the chair of Times section, and this year I was just a past chair, so I'm still kind of active. I'm also very active in the MSOM Society. Okay. So recently I founded the TISEEC, that's a Technology, Innovations, and Entrepreneurship a special interest group that is under MSOM. So it was launched last fall. Okay. And during this meeting, we had kind of like a panel discussion about just to inform the community what TIE is and where we are moving with it.
Okay, great. Do you read Informs journals and publications? And
of course.
Which one's your go-to?
I read many of Informs journals, but again, if I want to choose one, I would say management science because of its interdisciplinary nature. Because I not only learn about the work that is being done by my colleagues in operations management, but also by colleagues, the scholars in other fields such as finance, strategy, organizational behavior. So I like that. I get exposure to other fields as well.
There's a lot in there. Have you seen how thick they are now?
They're
like so big. So hopefully, do you get the print or online?
No, online. I have gone green.
You don't have space for those at home. So what interests do you have outside of work?
One thing that I feel very passionate about, and I always enjoy it a lot, is art, especially watercolor painting. So that's something I enjoy a lot.
Okay. And how about, and what's your guilty pleasures, favorite thing to binge watch, or guilty pleasure food?
To binge watch, I would say it's the Friends TV show.
I was just watching that
it never fails to
it's
laugh.
It's always on. And it's on for hours.
Yes. So I really enjoy that. Yeah.
Okay. That's all I have for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was great to talk to you and get to know you.
Very good. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Of course.